Hey everybody, welcome to episode number 33 of my South Olympic Branch update series. We're going to spend most of this episode working on the river scenery and times of wasting, so let's get to it. Putting down some glue, and I'm going over the top of that with some sifted paving sand for the bottom of the river. It's going to be more than one session of doing that because, it's a pretty good sized river. That's as far as I'm getting this morning. I gotta go get ready for work. Let's see if I can get the camera angle right for you guys to watch me do this. It's a whole bunch of different things all at once. I probably shouldn't go too thick with this gravel. I mean, I'm getting to the point where, back on this thing where people won't really be able to see it all that well. And I suppose that some of the flat could actually enhance the overall variation of the thing. But I guess we'll see how it looks. I suppose I'll find some grand improvement after I'm done. That's usually the way that works, right? We'll do another section. So we'll get that going. All right. Okay, let's grab the more glue and more sand. Wash, rinse, repeat. Actually worked out pretty good because I just ran out in this cup. There may be, in the video you may be able to tell there's a little color variation, and there is, and it'll be that way until I glue it. Once I put some glue down, it will, that'll go away. And then I'll come back and, as I did on my test base earlier, I'll add some color to this because I want it to be a little orange, a little terracotta. See how that, if it goes the way it did on my test base, I think it'll work out well. I like it already. Yeehaw. And it's going back, way back, all the way to the wall. And we're finally done putting gravel down. Next, we'll do some more gluing. Just got through putting scenic cement on the gravel, and then I added some diluted India ink that's diluted with like 70% isopropyl alcohol, and I'm going to go over that, or not over it, but blend in some ceramic coat terracotta and possibly some darker, maybe a little darker brown. This is called spice brown, but I might go darker than that. We'll see how that looks. But mostly I'm looking for more of a brownish gravel color. Okay, experimenting with some diluted terracotta here. Let's do a little drip. Yeah, I think I can go along here with that. Because with the gravel being wet, it's going to soak right in and spread right out. And even if it ends up being too much, I can do something over the top of it later. It's a little bit bright right there, but I think it'll tone down. And I'll kind of stick to the left-hand side of the river because I want the right-hand side to be darker. And so I think I'll blend it over as I go along. You can see this kind of what I call clay soil in Western Washington has a big effect on how the bottom of the river looks. Yeah. Right now this looks really orange. But keep in mind, it's going to be under some other stuff, you know, some resin. It's going to look like it'll have its own color. So, and also keep in mind that I'm going to put some other colors on top of that. So it's not going to look as orange as it does right now. I realize you guys can't actually see what I'm doing. Although in the video, I think it looks really great. If it's looking like what it looks like when I look at the phone right now. Okay. Using the matte medium that my friend Tyler recommended, and I'm painting a line of it along the edge of the riverbank here. I started out back here actually, just painting along, and that is designed to keep the magic water from climbing the riverbank. Work with the matte medium continues here, and I've sped this up because really it's just more work with the matte medium, and we'll move right on to the next step after that dries. Finished painting the matte medium on there. Now I need to wait for that to dry. Some of it already is, but the end pieces where I need to work on it a little bit more have not. And I found a couple of holes that I'm glad I found before I poured the resin, because that would have definitely messed things up. There was one over there, so that will be much better. I'll have to put something over the brown. Maybe I could leave it like that. Really enjoying having functional signals on the way out, and I've got a lot more of those yet to do. Okay, so it was finally time to get out the magic water and start mixing up the resin for the river. I thought I had a really good idea how much it was going to take, but I didn't want to start out with a huge batch. So I started out with a fairly modest batch, which turned out to be way less than what I needed. And I added more and more and still needed more. So I got really tired of stirring. In the end, I think I put approximately 2 cups of resin on the layout. And I need to let that dry, and I'm going to actually add some more to it later. In this batch, I think I used about 16 drops of the brown and about 6 drops of the green overall. But that was one of those things where I put some in and it wasn't dark enough, and I went back and I added some more and then added more after that. So I kind of lost track. But the bottom line is you can look at this as you're stirring it, and you kind of pick up your stir stick and just kind of let it run off the stir stick and see if it looks like it's dark enough for you. On later batches, I added some black India ink into it as well to really give it a darker look. I want the river to look like you're not seeing all the way to the bottom in spots. I think I accomplished that part of it pretty well. I'm excited because it's finally time to pour that first batch of resin in the riverbed. I'm also quite nervous because it's time to pour that first batch of resin in the riverbed. So I used a pipette to get the resin flowing into the bridge. I only had to do that with the first batch. After that, it just leveled out on its own. Kind of like water, once you get that surface tension going, it helps out a lot. But I did notice that I needed to at least double that second batch. So far, I don't see any leaks. And we're just going to let the resin kind of creep back towards the mirror there. Cross our fingers and hope for the best.
So I'm going to leave the room and let the resin cure. Until next time, you guys be safe out there and enjoy your model railroading.